What's up, guys? This is a quick demo video for a personal saber of mine that I have been waiting a while for, close to a year, the Custom Saber Shop Green Mamba. This came to me yesterday. I was very much looking forward to it. I got in on the pre-order, which was close to a year ago. In fact, I think it may have been last May the 4th. So I got in on the pre-order, tried my hardest to forget about it, and then got a tracking number last week, and I was super pumped. So this came in the mail yesterday. I opened it right up, got to installing. I put a Proffie in here, and it is just a gorgeous saber. A lot of people haven't got theirs yet because they went for some anodizing. I chose to go with just the raw aluminum just so that I could just appreciate the machining and the design work that went into this saber. Try to show you guys. So everything is on a spline or backbone spline, whatever you want to call it. It is a 2-button setup. The 2 tactile switches are located right here, so they're very low profile, power, auxiliary. It came with a blade plug, which I need to get an Allen key for. There we go. So it came with a blade plug. We can take that out real quick. The blade retention screw is actually this guy right here. It's this middle of the 3, the big one. So we'll just kind of loosen that up a little bit, slide the blade plug out. What's really cool about this is it is hollow, so it gets shine through. And if I can focus in on it, you can see how there's got some windows milled out there on either side. All right, so you get some nice shine through. It was machined to put a Neopixel adapter in here if you didn't have a lit PCB or an MPXL, but I like to use these Carl Chen ones. So I've got one in here already, and it lights that up very well. All right. Crystal chamber here, which is very cool. It did come with the crystal, and it came with a Neopixel accent. Now, I will say, installing this guy was a beast, and it was even a little bit more frustrating because I thought I had it done. I got to the board, which is the last thing that you do, and the Neopixel that I wired up that came with the Saber didn't light up, and that was probably me. I'd never seen that before. Maybe I wired it up differently. I don't know, but I went ahead and I swapped that out. I put it in instead a Nanopixel from KR Sabers because it fit in there very well. All the wires go through here. So for your crystal chamber and your main Neopixel or your main blade connector, the wires go through these 4 braided tubes or these 4 braided pieces right here. So that was a little bit of something to get that to fit, but it all fit well. It's just a matter of learning how to do it. There's no instruction videos on this guy yet. So what it was me taking it apart on my desk, remembering where every part went, and then troubleshooting my way through this install. Now, if I ever do another one, it'll go in half the time. But it was a beast, and you have to be very careful to put the parts right where you can find them, put them in order so it's easy to know where everything goes because there are a ton of parts here. But that crystal lights up. One of my main, probably my main pieces of advice, I guess, on installing one of these is to pre-program your board. Know what sound fonts you want to put it on it ahead of time, get everything programmed so that when you put this in, you can fire it up and you won't have any issues. Now you can get to the board. It is a bit of a task. So you would have to take these 2 bolts off and take this ring off. Like when you do that, you've got these little greeblies here. You got 4 here and 4 here. When you pull this forward and take it off, these greeblies are going to come off. You're going to want to do the same thing with the middle one. Take off that screw and that screw, slide this all the way forward, take it off, and then these 4 greeblies will come off. And then you can take off, there's a little spline piece right here that runs from here to here. That pops off, and that allows you to take these 2 side panels off. So if you can see that it's got a bit of an oval panel there, and it's got a matching one on the other side, those kind of pop off, and that's how you get to your board. So it's possible, but you very much want to do some pre-planning on this Saber because I will probably never touch this board again. I put a couple Kyberphonic fonts on here. I put a couple K-Sith fonts on here, and I have a Jadalorian font on here, Kyber Shuttle. And I'll never touch it again. I think for K-Sith, I have Alliance, and I may have Dissonance. I don't know. We'll cycle through it. And then for Kyberphonic, I've got his Balin Skull font, the Sun Skull, and then I've also got his Ray Scavenger because I like that one as well. All right, but so that's that part. It does come with its own speaker, which is it's rectangular in shape. You're not ever going to be able to see it there, but it comes with its own proprietary speaker, and then you are able to fit an 18650 in here. One thing I appreciated about this as well is not only did it come with a speaker, but there's a speaker and battery holder that it comes with in the back. So when you open this up, all you got to do is wire up your battery. You slide it right in that holder. There's barely enough room to fit an 18650 in here, but it is possible. That's what's in here. All of these vents right here that you see, these two vents, they go all around. I think there's a total of 8. They come in a separate baggie. You put those in from the inside and you glue them down. The machining on this is on point. The tolerances are on point. Everything just fits. You almost think that it won't fit. It's because you aren't doing it right. You have to do it exactly right, and everything fits to an exact T. This is a beautiful Saber. I'm very happy to own one. This was a very much of a splurge project, or a splurge for me. Gift for myself. I don't ever spend this much on Sabers. This Saber was about $1,000 empty, and it came with a case because I did a pre-order. I got this case. I haven't even taken the recharge port cable off of it, and I won't probably until I need it. But when you first get this, this is on the outside. So like what you do is you take these screws out here, and they swing around until they're up top here, and then this nameplate actually bolts to the top with the Saber inside of it. And the Saber looks like this when it's sitting inside of it, right? It looks just like that. So you unbolt those arms, you fling them down like this, and then you bolt the nameplate to the bottom so that you could display it like this. So this is a very nice display. All machined aluminum, and then they have this green acrylic that they did some inlays on. So very cool with that. I'll have to figure out how to put this into my cabinet somehow. But anyway, crazy install. I'd say the install itself wasn't hard. It's not hard. I've done a lot harder. It was just a matter of knowing what to do first. And once you figure that out, it becomes pretty easy, right? So for me, I ran my speaker and my battery first. I wired those up first because I had to take this component off to do that. So I wired those up first, brought those wires through these corrugated or these tubes right here, and then I bolted this piece back on. All right. And then I did my crystal chamber and my switches, and then I put this back on, not realizing that I had to run my blade side connector through these same tubes. So that's when I had to go back and take it off and run it. Wired it all to my board last, turned it on, realized my crystal wasn't working, had to take it back off. It's a lot, but very satisfying when it's all done. And it has a very cool recharge port. So you'll see these two knobs, like towards the front, you've got this knob and you've got this knob. These are just aesthetic. They screw in. They don't do anything. On the back, though, this one right here is on a magnet. And when you pull this off, you'll see that it's a magnetic recharge port. And you just put this on, obviously, when you don't want to charge your Saber. You turn it a little bit, and it will go right into place so it doesn't fall out. All right, just like that. But that's what that cord is for that came with the actual case in the Saber. It's made to work with a standard recharge cable. All right, and then this one over here, you just turn it, and it is the kill switch. I've got that crystal pulsing. Power is over here. So my LEDs are all lit up. I believe this is this is the Alliance sound font, which I think is very cool. Very beefy. Still got that twist off, and even though it's a curved hilt, the the board is right here where the handle is, right? And it is straight, so it's very comfortable to twist off. We'll go to another one.
Ray Skywalker.
This is the scavenger font from Jesse over at Kyberphonic. We've got that yellow pulsing crystal. Let's put a blade in it. This guy takes a 1-inch diameter blade, all right? So we'll put a blade in it and lock it down. This is actually the first time I put a blade in it. So we're going to find out if it works. Works good, so we're good to go. Solo Sabers knows what he's doing from time to time. Let's go to another one. This is the Sun Skull font, which I think is very cool. So this is an orange-red pulsing crystal. It may or may not pick up well on camera, but it is indeed orange-red with an orange-red blade.
Alliance.
Oh, this is the Alliance one. So I do not remember what the other blue one is. I apologize for that. But I know I've got 2 K-Sith, 2 Kyberphonic, and I've got a 1 J DeLorean. So this one has a green crystal. I do have these on timers. So green crystal, green blade. It's very comfortable and very solid. I'm, of course, just taking my time and being very careful because it is such an expensive piece that once I get done doing this demo, it's going to go back on my shelf. I'll take it to a couple Saber trips I'm going to this year, but then it's going right back on my shelf inside of a case.
Ascension.
Ascension. It's Ascension and Alliance from K-Sith. This one is very cool. So the crystal reacts to auxiliary, reacts to blade lockup. And then the first one we started on was actually the J DeLorean sound font, which is Kyber Shuttle. And it has its own blade style. I really enjoy this one too. It's just a cool font. Very fun to play with. I'll take the blade out of there and then I'll put the blade plug back in it. Blade plug is very cool. Machined aluminum, like the rest of the Saber. Lock it down. I made sure to make my PCB holder just high enough to where the blade plug is right at the tip of the emitter here, but when we turn this on, so you get some cool shine through all the way around that thing. Even though it's only machined on 2 different sides or 180 degrees from each other, because it's shiny aluminum, the shine through goes all the way around, so it doesn't matter how you put the blade plug in. And of course, when you're done with it, well, we'll go to another sound font and turn on.
Ray Skywalker.
You just come over here and turn this little knob, and that's your kill switch, and it turns right off. So that was my install on it, and the sound fonts I have. My overall review of this thing is it is just a gorgeous Saber. No buyer's remorse at all for me. In fact, I was looking forward to this for a long time, and I'm very happy that it's here. Now, is this one of these Sabers that you're going to go outside and be a doofus and beat on each other or like beat on a tree? No, don't do that. This is an expensive Saber. It's a shelf coin. It's not for dueling, although you probably could. It's got a deep enough blade socket, and everything is solid, but why would you? Go get something cheap from China for that. All right. This is to just kind of pick up every once in a while and admire. A very cool install. Wasn't overly difficult. The only difficulties that I had were due to it just being a brand new Saber and me wanting to take my time and figure out how it works. But once I figured out how it works, I'll say that all of the wire passages were well thought out. The board placement, there's enough space for an install. Everything was very well thought out here, and I didn't have any problems when it came to actual installability. But anyway, that is my green Mamba. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we will catch you next time. Thanks.